I'm just wiping my tears for those of you who aren't watching on YouTube because Kateri and I are mourning something so
The death.
upsetting and so tragic today. It's a death that we hate to come by, and this dies every year.
Every year.
Every year it dies, and it's the season of summer.
R.I.P.
R.I.P.
P
to the old season.
Also, okay, so
It's the best season
let's just like get
with
into it.
sunshine and salt. R.I.P. to the summer season.
Okay, let me just quickly intro before we get more into our sorrow. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to No Sugar with Everything Krause. As Isabel briefly explained, we are both wearing black because we are mourning summer. It is the day after Labor Day, the day this episode drops. So, yeah, Labor Day is just really like, the season finale. It's the kumbaya.
Yeah.
See you later. See you next year. And that really stinks because I'm not ready for it.
R.I.P. I'm honestly not really ready for it either. I feel like I don't know, summer always flies by in a sense, but I just feel like this summer was very different. So getting the doses of Cape May now, late August, it feels like it's mid-July right now. So I just feel like I'm misoriented. I don't really know where my head is mentally, and it's just not at the end of summer, that's for sure. But it is starting to feel it. Like, that end of summer feeling of just like you feel the energy within people start to kind of go into more like fall feelings. And
Yeah.
I don't know, it's not just the crisp air, it's more of just like the energy is different, and I feel that change even within myself. I'm like already starting to really prepare for fall, and I'm like, no, it's still summer, but it's
Yeah,
not.
I agree with that completely. I also think another thing for me personally is like we've continuously said, like summer kind of is more of that carefree time. So I almost have a little bit of anxiety going into the fall because it's like, okay, now there is no more like free, not no more free spirit, but no more like, oh, I'll get to it later. Like it's summer,
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna have fun, I'm gonna do this, do that. It's more, not like a more serious, excuse me. Oh my God. It's not like a more serious time,
Just
but I
getting
feel like
choked up.
yeah, literally, like that was wild. My voice just like started going out. Anyway, I just feel like I get more into like serious mode because I don't like no one really is like everyone's like done their travels, they did their
Yeah.
vacations, like everyone's kind of like back to work fully, so it just feels like a more serious time. So I also feel like I have just responsibility looming over my head, but I'm not mad about the responsibility. I am excited for it at the same time, but it's kind of been responsibility that I've been like putting on the back burner. So it's good and bad anxiety. It's just about like anxiety, like a what's to come, but also excitement about what's to come as well. So I think I'm feeling some of that honestly going into the fall.
I feel exactly that. Like, I literally don't even want to say anything else because I'd be repeating you. I literally just feel like I have anxiety about future responsibilities that are on my mind, and I kind of just want to handle them, but I'm also allowing myself to still enjoy the rest of summer. But they're just on my mind, so it's giving me that like angst feeling.
Yeah.
But also like what you just said, I'm gonna harp on. It's a little bit very unknown this fall. I feel like I have a lot changing. It's my first fall coming up, and not going back to routine undergrad school and like my normal Drexel life, and it's a bit scary in a sense of like, what is my routine even going to look like? So it's even just giving me anxiety thinking about developing that routine for the fall season. But I'm also really excited because I'm starting to also change my perspective. Like, as I'm developing that routine, I'm realizing that there's a lot of things to be excited about because there's so much unknown that it's like, wow, like what could happen this season that could change my life? You never know.
And
So, but
that's
I
kind of the
completely.
mindset. Yeah, sorry to cut you off there. Our like I said, our we don't really know when the other person's done talking today. That's kind of the mindset you have to, I feel like, take is just like, well, who knows what's gonna happen and get excited about that. Like you just with any situation, that's kind of I feel like a really good way to look at it because it could either go really shitty or if you're just like, oh, what if like amazing things turn up and like I love my routine and blah blah blah. And then it changes the mindset around it.
I was like cracking up though because I was talking to Brittany yesterday on the phone. Brittany's our other sister and older sister. And we both were saying You're just like, why is it that when the fall comes, like, I understand it's a time for more discipline to kick in. Yes, I get it. But can it be flipped? Because I swear, like, and it's so true, like, I get in the best shape of my life every fall season. And then by the end of fall, I'm like, oh my God, I'm so good. And then I like lose it a bit at Christmas with all the cookies and all that stuff. And then after the holiday season, I'm like, boom, back into whipped shape. And then
Hmm.
summer comes and it's like, okay, I guess none of you are gonna see that dream body that I worked for all year.
Yeah,
Like,
it
and which does not that it matters, but Brady and I were just like laughing. Like, I swear I get so disciplined and strict on my habits in the season where I'm like literally living in a sweatshirt and sweatpants.
no, it's so true. The summer is like just that like lenient lifestyle. Like it really is
Mm-hmm.
like kind of more carefree. Like, oh yeah, I want to go out more. I want to go get dinner. So like I'm gonna eat out more and I'm gonna get more drinks. And I'm oh yeah, I want ice cream. Like it's summer, it's warm weather. Like get ice cream every single night. So which
Yeah.
and you don't follow the same workout routine, especially like being in Cape May. Like when you're there, you're not doing the same things. You're not in the gym. It is a kind of a weird concept. We like work so hard to feel good in our bodies, like inside and out, and then
Mm-hmm.
not like the time that it matters most, but it is like
But
you
the
want to
time that my
feel,
damn body's gonna be seen, I'm sorry, I'm literally wearing a
yeah,
bra and
like
underwear on the beach.
no, there is no, I don't think there's a problem with caring about like, okay, I worked this hard, I better look good.
Yeah.
Like I want the
DM.
reward. So with all of that being said, it really leads us right into our episode today, which is just tips that you guys can take, tips that we can take into the fall to really set us up for success. We kind of do this going into every season because I do think it's so important to use the seasons kind of as like a little reset, a little reboot, almost like a detox from whatever is in the past, like the past in the past, reboot for the next season coming up. And I don't know, whenever we do this, they really excite me. It makes me feel really good and hopeful for what's to come. And I feel like it kind of helps me stay in line a little bit about like, okay, what can I tackle first? Like, what are actual tangible tips I can do that are going to make me feel better as like we transition, especially from a season like summer to fall. I feel like that's a pretty like drastic season because it's going from like warm to cold as opposed to
Yeah.
from like like spring to summer, it's a little
Yeah.
less of a
It's
transition, it
less.
feels like.
Yeah. For sure. And I feel like this episode is extremely important for people to listen to because I think a lot of the fall anxiety that does come and fall onto people is from maybe some unknown plans coming up or like there's a longer period of being unknown. And I always say the best way to tackle the unknown is to try and figure out everything that you can and prepare yourself as much as possible. So then, whatever situation you do encounter or face, you're as prepared as possible. And the only thing that you have to do in that instance is like the extra stuff that you couldn't possibly prepare. So I
Hmm.
always say that's like the best way. And I feel like listening to this episode is just a great way to get your mind in check and prepared for the season that's coming and to make yourself a little bit more at ease. Like it always calms my anxiety when we record these episodes after. I'm like, oh, I feel so much better.
Hmm. Me too. So yeah, so we want to leave you guys with 3 tangible tips that you can take going into the fall, and they really can be started like right away. It's not like you have to wait for, you know, the perfect date like October 1st or anything like that. I feel like they can really be started anytime. So, tip number 1 is actually one I started implementing myself today, but we always talk about plan or plan to fail. And I feel like this is really applicable to every category of your life, but specifically like day to day life. I do think it is so important to plan. And like I was talking about last week, I had my first personal training session and then I didn't plan what to do after that in the chunk of time that I had, right? So I felt like I kind of failed during that
Mm-hmm.
time. So today I had like a couple hours and I was like, well, let me plan out what my week looks like and like what my week's going to look like during the fall. So I made like a little chart just like on my notes app on my computer and I put Monday through Sunday in there and then I wrote all the days that I'm teaching, the times I'm teaching and I put that down. And then I started planning, okay, what am I going to do in the times that I'm not teaching or that I'm not personal training, like the chunk of times of my day that are just empty right now. And I started planning out the things that I can do during those hours and like Monday is dedicated to this, this, and this, Tuesday, this. And like some things are going to float around still. But even just doing that, it made me feel really good about staying organized because I kind of felt like I was
Yeah.
all over the place for a little bit. I'm just like, I know I teach every day, but I know I also have time every day. It's not like I don't have any time in my day, but I wasn't visualizing it. So it was overwhelming me because it wasn't
Mm-hmm.
just written out in front of me. And now that it is written out in front of me, it's like, oh wow, I have so much more time than I thought I had available to
Yeah.
myself during the day, like during the week. That wasn't even including Saturday and Sunday with free time completely available. So it really just helped me like calm my mind down a little bit today. And I didn't really even finish. Like it was still kind of just a start of where I want to be with it, but it made me feel really, really good. And like I was talking about in the beginning, having a little bit of anxiety going into the fall, it like really helped me be like, I don't know, just feel a lot better going into the season. Like I'm really excited for the structure that I'm, attempting to set up for myself.
Yeah, and I feel like it's also really important to actually, like what you said, see the time written down of the
Mm-hmm.
things that you have going on because I feel like we always think, oh, I have 4 to 6 available. Like that's my free time, but you can actually utilize those hours to be your free time instead of just scrolling for 45 minutes of it. But I feel like we often leave our free time to be our planning time and then we end up planning during our free time and then we lose our free time. We're like, where'd the day go? And then
Mm-hmm.
it's the same thing almost every day. So I feel like when you really write down how, and I'm not saying to plan your every single day, but if you have a gist of, okay, I'm going to be at work 9 to 5 this week. Okay, what are you like? If you look at the hours on the calendar of 5 to 9 and box it out and say, I could do this in that hour, this in this hour, like you can get in everything you really want to get in. And I think you'll feel satisfied with your day. And I
Mm-hmm.
think that's what excites me the most is when I see those open hours. I'm like, oh, that could be an hour to work on EK. That'll be my
Mm-hmm.
hour to work out. I'll go on a walk during then. It like excites me of all the things that I will be able to do in my day and that routine that I can build.
Mm-hmm. I also think it makes you understand that you have more time available to you than you realize. And
Mm-hmm.
I don't have a traditional job where I'm going into an office and working all day, but I can imagine if I did, I would be like, I don't have any time to do anything I actually need to get done, whether it's
Mm-hmm.
around the house, whether it's in terms of working out, doing things outside of work that I just like anything like that. Like I would imagine that's how I would feel. And I just feel like writing down, okay, I know I'm going to be in the office from literally 9 to 5. Well, like, what time can I wake up to maybe get a workout? What can I, or maybe just have a good morning routine? Like, what time can
Mm-hmm.
I wake up to be like, okay, I want to drink warm lemon water and meditate or, prayer and journal and do all this stuff? Like, what can I do in the morning in an hour before I leave for work that's going to set me up and make me feel really good for the rest of the day? And then what can I do in that like initial hour getting home from work that is going to prevent me from just slumping on the couch and feeling like I'm falling behind on my day? And like there's some days that you're going to probably want that, but giving yourself like a couple days of the week where this is the chunk of time I'm going to do this, this, and this, even if it's down to like 30-minute increments, I just feel like it really
Mm-hmm.
helps you recognize like you do have time for more than you think. And I fall victim to that a lot where I feel like when I'm busy, I have no time. And that's like, if you break up the time you actually have, like you're not that busy. There's people who are way
Yeah.
busier than you. Like you'll survive.
Yeah. So that really is a key right there, though. Like, plan what you can plan right now. And then when you get closer to the weeks, the night before Monday, where you can actually plan out what your entire Monday is going to be, I highly suggest
Mm,
doing that. Because, like Kateri just said, I feel I started doing that this past school year. And I felt this past school year felt like the busiest year of my life. Like, I felt like I had so many different things going on. I basically was doing EK No Sugar, Miracle Molecule, and then Lagos. And it
mm-hmm.
was just like so much at once for me and maintaining a social life, but it never felt overwhelming. Like I almost feel more busy during this summer because I haven't planned any of my days like to the T, where I'm losing minutes, where then I was planning my days like literally by 15-minute increments, like
Mm-hmm.
get changed for gym by 6:15, like literally by the increment, and I got everything done every single day and then
Yeah.
some. I always had extra time at the end of the day and I was like, wow, I feel so great. So
Mm-hmm.
just knowing that feeling and seeing what it's like when I don't plan that particular, I'm like, okay, I definitely will be incorporating that in my everyday schedule. I know it seems a lot, so allow some flexibility in your time too. That's just a pro tip for that. Like,
Mm-hmm.
give yourself more than 15 minutes to get changed for the gym. Chances are you need 5 more minutes in bed. Like,
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
what I learned from doing that.
No, yeah, definitely have some flexibility, but I think another good thing that you can plan, and I kind of like said it a little bit, but plan your morning routine, plan your night routine. Like you talked about maybe planning out your day the night before. that's a great way to set yourself up immediately for success the next day. Like if you leave it
Mm-hmm.
for the day of, you fall short because then you have to spend 30 minutes planning when that 30 minutes could have been used for one of those tasks. You could have like bumped everything up a little bit. So I think that's like a great way to either end the day or say you want, to have like all your planning on Sunday. You want to take like a good chunk of your Sunday to really like set up your week so you don't have to like worry about that every single night. Just find things that are going to work for you, and having a good night routine is really something that I want to tap into because living alone in Florida was really, really easy to have a wholesome, amazing night routine because I literally lived alone on my own terms, my own
Mm-hmm.
time. No one else around me, really no outside factors popping up. It was like I was done work, I was done work. Like I knew what I had to do for the rest of the day. Fast forward to now living at home, I legitimately have no night routine. And I would say in the past couple months, like my sleep schedule has just been all over the place. I've been going to bed sporadically, like no set time. And I know it hasn't been making me feel good. So that's something I really want to kind of hone in on a little bit. I'm not going to like overwhelm my night routine to the point where I'm just like rushing to do everything to get in bed. But even just setting up a time of like, okay, I want to be off my phone, off, no reading, no nothing by 10 p.m. every single night.
Yeah.
Whether in between the 9:30 and 10 p.m. range, but like after 10, I better be asleep,
Yeah.
literally. So even just setting that, like knowing what's going to make you feel good, it might be 11 p.m., it might be 9 p.m. for some people, 8:30, who knows? But I feel like immediately setting up a good night routine is going to set you up for success the next day. And I just think sleep is so, so important, especially for women. I really feel like we need to prioritize like that wellness tip. Like when people talk about sleep, it's literally crucial for our hormones, for our bodies, for our workouts, for our energy levels, everything. And recently I've just been like, I don't care about sleep. And
Yeah.
that's like
Because
so
there's
not
been
me.
like other things in my mind.
Yeah, exactly. But so that's
Um,
just my little like rant on my night routine.
so if you are opting to build one of those routines, whether it be a night routine or a morning routine, just remember to build a small routine first. Don't try and tackle 10 different things in your routine at once. You can always add to it week by week and build up a 14-step routine by the end of fall. Like you don't need to have a 14-step routine week 1. That's going to be just not sustainable for you. So just a reminder, if you're going to definitely take that routine approach, that is what I found to be the most successful when building routines.
I completely agree with that.
Just one last thing I want to add is I feel like we always think the fall season goes, tears making me laugh, but we always think the fall
Sorry.
season goes so fast. And I feel like we get caught in this cycle of just being in the rat race. Like I feel like the fall is, stop laughing at me. Stop. I'm
Not the
literally about to
giggles.
spit. I'm about to
Okay.
spit some advice.
Sorry. All right. I'm literally can't stop. I can't look at you. Just go.
Yeah, don't look at me. But anytime anyway, anyway, I feel like when the season of fall hits, it's so disciplined, so routine, so planned. Like I know we're saying to do all that, which is great, but for some reason the season has that aura, and I feel like we kind of get stuck in the rat race and the wheel of just like living every day and not really doing anything cool. And I'm taking that as a reminder for myself to like the fall is still 4 months. It's still 4 months left of that year, which is a great segue into our next point of like you have a lot of time to do a lot of cool stuff with. Take advantage
Hmm.
of this time. Don't just get caught in that rat race and let time pass you by. Like I plan to do big things in the fall. I hope
Hmm.
you can change your life in a month, in a day, in a week, whatever it is. You never know what's going to happen. And I feel like start to believe that this season because you don't need to live the same life every single day.
So that perfectly leads us into tip number two. So, like Isle said, we have 4 months left until the new year. That's a lot of time. I feel like in my mind, again, when I take it from like a big picture, it seems like nothing and like, oh, I have no time to get anything done. Like, what goals did I set last year? I don't know. I don't remember. Like, it just everything kind of goes by the wayside. And then I just
Mm-hmm.
think, like, oh, the year's over. Can't do anything else. That is so not true. 4 months is so much time. And like as Will just said, anything can happen in a day, a week, a month. So much can happen in your life. So I feel like this is a perfect time to revisit the goals maybe you set at the new year. Maybe you have new goals that you've, realized or come across throughout this entire year, and take a moment to sit with them, revisit the goals, plan out new goals. Nothing obviously, not drastic, but not like too many that then you're just not going to achieve everything because your mind's being pulled in a million different places, but like what's something that's going to make you feel really good to achieve by the end of the year? How can you get there? Write down those tips. But I feel like we so often forget about our New Year's goals so quickly, and this is a great time to revisit those. This is a great time to make maybe one new goal and really kind of plan the rest of your year
Yeah.
so that going into the new year, really what you're going to remember most vividly is the months leading up to the new year. So I feel like if you end with like a bang almost, or like a nice big like pat on the back, like, yeah, I did that. Like I did what I said I was going to do. You're going to feel so good going into the new year. And like, what's better than that? Then you just continuously set up this amazing cycle where you feel good and like put out good energy.
But exactly right, Kateri. That's so true. And I feel like everyone just assumes like, oh, I can't finish. You don't need to finish the goal by the end of the year too. Like everyone just assumes, oh, I can't get the goal done. I'll just do that in the next year in 2025. Like it's never too late to get a jump start on the goal that you're going to be continuing in 2025. That way, when
Mm-hmm.
you go into 2025, you kind of have some footing and some grounding to maybe like take some actual steps within that goal.
Yeah,
So it's
exactly.
never too late to start. I just wanted to add that in there. And also going back to our last point, like tying that in there, we just said if you plan your day, you're probably going to find a few hours, maybe even 30 minutes within your day that you have free. Maybe one of your goals is to learn Italian and you can use that 30 minutes to scroll on whatever that Duolingo, is that what the app's called?
Yeah.
Scroll on Duolingo and just get a little bit more acquainted with the language. Like maybe it's something like that. But if you plan your schedule and revisit your goals, I feel like you could get a lot done potentially in this fall.
Yeah, 100% agree. That's so true because then like we keep saying you realize you like do have time to do other things. Like you might think like, oh, when do I have time to learn another language? Well, if you find like 5, 10 minutes a day, that adds up.
Mm-hmm.
That's
That
50
definitely adds
minutes a
up.
week. That's like,
Y'all can
if,
add up your coffee. Why can't you add up your time?
yeah, like thanks.
Honestly, just moving right into our third tip, which is just to declutter your space and declutter your mind. And I feel like the best way to declutter your mind for this new season is by really cleaning up your space, whatever space that you're going to be finding yourself in. If you have a desk area, if it's your workout room, if it's your bedroom, wherever you are going to be spending the majority of your time, especially because the fall season really is a more indoor season, make sure it's clear or organized in a way that works for you mentally. Like if
Mm-hmm.
you scan the room and the room doesn't just like flow nicely for you, if there's something that like stops causes you to stop looking, it's not a good mental flow either. Do you know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean? Like if there's
Yeah.
something that's mentally disturbing you, it's going to mentally disturb you throughout the day and it's going to interrupt your workflow, etc.
Yeah. I really need to do this tip. I
Same. I speak
feel
with
like
passion, but same.
no, like I feel like I've been saying I need to declutter my room and like I've done like little spurts of getting rid of stuff, but not like a deep declutter because it's gonna take days to do. It's not something that's gonna just like take an hour. And I struggle to part ways with a lot of things, but I feel like I'm just in the mood to be like ruthless with all this BS that I have specifically in my bedroom because if I haven't needed it in the past year, the past 2 years, like I don't need it anymore. It's just taking up space in my room and therefore it's taking up space in my head. Like literally when I think
Mm-hmm.
about my bedroom right now, it's not like a bomb went off. It's not like it's like dirty. It's just
No. Something we
there's a
need to
lot
let
of
you guys in
shit.
on. Yeah, something we need to let you guys in on is that listen, we've been in the same, our family has lived in the same house
Entire
for
life.
our entire life since our parents have been married. They moved into that house. So I've had 22 years of life in it. Kateri has had 25 years of life in it. We
Oh
have a
shit.
lot of shit. And there is not, it's an old stone home. It's a beautiful home, but
Mm-hmm.
it's old and there's not enough storage. There simply
Yeah.
isn't. Like,
No.
I did that ruthless shit. I did a whole ruthless clean out and I really was ruthless. Like, I was tossing some things that I never thought I could toss before. And
Mm-hmm.
mom was like the meme in the background, like catching the things before.
No, mom is the worst. She's
She
like,
literally was like, "You can't give away those jeans. I'll take them. I'll try them on." I'm like,
yeah.
literally what? But anyway, I've done that ruthless shit, and I feel like I still don't even have the proper storage for all the things that I didn't get rid of. So I want to
Mm-hmm.
do an even like crazier. I think our whole family needs to do like a massive home declutter and like
Yeah.
genuinely like buy a dumpster, put it on the lot, and like throw out shit.
Mm-hmm. No,
Like,
I think that's another thing that prevents me is like I have this purple desk in my room. It's not like a heavy desk. It's like a literal like metal desk that I've had for years. Israel got a pink one for Christmas. I got a purple.
The boys,
years,
Joseph got black, Xander got blue.
yeah, like years and years and years and years ago. It is my desk in my room. Like it has had use in the past like 5 years, like at random
Mm-hmm.
times. But now it's just to collect whatever I throw on it. Like there is no point to it. And maybe I do need a desk in my room, but like it's definitely not going to be that desk. So I need to get rid of it. But then like I think about getting rid of it. I'm like, well, where are we going to put this? Like I'm just going to have to like put it on the curb. Like imagine if we just had a dumpster
Yeah.
like to get rid of all this stuff. But you know,
We would
mom and
actually
dad,
like go
can you get a
outside and
dumpster?
like throw it.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think that's monumental
But
in
that's just like
decluttering.
little things like I could go off of my room. And guys, I've said this before, but I'm on the third floor. So my room takes up the entire house. So there's a lot of space, like floor space. There's a lot of just like space for, you know, buildup of stuff. And I'm blessed to have that much space. But at the same time, it also allows for me to easily just be like, oh, just like put that there in that corner. Like I'm not really on this side of the room that much. I'll just like put this there.
Well, it's
And it's
kind of
like,
like the entire house's excuse too. Like, don't know where to put the
yeah.
Christmas decorations. Put them on the floor. Put them on the third floor.
Yeah. And like
Like,
they're
oof.
fine in the room that they're in. But it's just like, there's a lot of things, and I do people always talk about when you clear out your spaces, when you declutter your spaces, you really it is a mental declutter. You kind of let go of a lot of anxiety, a lot of past things, just a lot of angst. Like it really is the
Throw out your
best.
old boyfriend's sweatshirts.
Yeah, like it really is the best way to just feel like fresh and feel new and feel like you're not holding on to a bunch of old things. And I don't know. I'm really, really looking forward to that. Like, that's one of the reasons I'm most excited about fall is to feel like I am planning out my time. I'm seeing more time. I'm not going to Cape May on the weekend. So, like, let me take advantage. Like, no, I don't want to spend Saturday inside in my room, but like, will I feel better on the other side of it? Yes. So, let's plan what weekend I'm really going to focus on my room.
Yeah. I also just need to make a side note because Kateri didn't even address it. The only reason that I said throw out your old boyfriend's sweatshirts, so you guys don't think I'm a fucking freak, is because Kateri and I bantered about that before because she doesn't have one of Tyler's sweatshirts, and
No.
I make it a point to get a sweatshirt from every guy that says hello to me.
Yeah.
So
Like, Israel's just like friends with them. It's like, I want a sweatshirt.
so that's why I said that when we were bantering about it. I just wanted to clear the air on that.
But I also just have to clear the air on, like, I don't like any of Tyler's sweatshirts.
Yeah, which is unfortunate.
And that's on me being.
Well, he does wear mediums, which is like
No,
more like
he wears
baggy
larges.
sweatshirts.
But I feel like all of his sweatshirts, like he played football in college, so like a lot of his sweatshirts are like that, like athletic-y feel that they give you, you
Yeah,
know,
and he's like a fisherman, which is like I know.
God, they're-
No, I'm saying that because like like the fisherman shirts that are like that.
yeah,
Like how all
like,
of them feel that way. It's like the athletic sweatshirts, they all feel that way.
they
So
all have
annoying.
that feel, and I like never liked them. Even in high school when we had the option to buy them for like lacrosse, I never liked those sweatshirts, and I feel like I've only really seen them or just ones that maybe they were a medium at the time of him wearing it. And like I don't want a medium sweatshirt.
Tyler,
And
you should wear a sweatshirt for like every day for a month, one month, and then give it to Kateri as like a
yeah,
gift for Valentine's Day for anniversary.
and like the one sweatshirt I
Just
did like,
surprise her.
I don't even know what's on it. It's like his gym sweatshirt. Like he wears a sweatshirt to the gym to like sweat more. And I'm like,
Oh,
I would never put that on my body no matter how
ew.
many times you wash it.
Yeah.
So that's about, and the
hysterical.
only reason I like it is because like the classic like Gildan, just like baggy, cheap
Yeah, they're the
sweatshirt, but like
best.
so comfortable.
They're the best.
Won't be mine.
You
That's
hear
for
us,
damn
Tyler?
sure.
You hear us, Tyler? You got to buy a sweatshirt for you to give to
That's
her.
facts. I mean, like we've been dating for 3 years and I don't have a sweatshirt.
Literally. I mean, do you even?
Oh my God. And
I mean, if you're not gonna put a ring on a finger, at least put a sweatshirt on a body.
one time when he came to visit me in Naples, I had like made a comment, like, I don't even have like a t-shirt of yours. And this was in the like first year of the relationship. And he brought this like red long sleeve shirt.
What did
He
you
was
say?
like, he brought this red long sleeve shirt for me.
Oh, okay.
And he was like, here, like, because you don't have like a t-shirt of mine. It's so small.
Yeah.
I've never put it on my body. And
Long
I
sleeve.
can't.
Let me just.
I literally can't
Let me
get
just
rid of it
like
'cause
throw this in the declutter pile.
I literally just like it makes me laugh. I just completely forgot about that. Like he did attempt it once, but like I will never put that on my body.
I appreciate the effort.
Yeah.
The effort.
Anyway,
Okay. Anyway, getting back to it, going off of decluttering your space, I also just want to say,
right back to it.
yeah, I like getting back to it for you guys. Sometimes I can really snap it on.
Okay.
Sometimes I can get out of it. Sometimes I can get in it.
Please, guys, it's literally 5:30 at night. Like,
Yeah,
I have to
yeah,
go. I'm
yeah,
so
yeah, yeah,
low.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Anyway, literally going off of what Katia was just saying about decluttering, also use this season as a time to declutter your mind. And what I literally mean by that is there any thoughts that you feel you've been hiding from that are in the back of your mind that you just want to confront? Like, I don't mean like go on this journey of like figuring out and healing your mind. I just mean literally, is there anything on your mind that you have been scared to work through or confront or deal with? Deal with
Hmm.
it now. I feel like it's going to feel like a huge weight lifted off your shoulder. Like there's already some thoughts in the back of my mind that I want to confront and remove from my fall and like live that life without those thoughts in my head. And
Hmm.
I'm gonna handle it this fall. Like when I feel like just the season change and I feel the discipline kick in, I'm gonna confront those negative emotions towards
Yeah.
myself.
No, that's a great point. I think that we don't often think about that, or we don't often want to address it. And I don't know, I wasn't thinking about that at all. And I feel like you just even saying that, I'm like, yeah, wait, that's a great point. And you can do a lot to work on yourself in 4 months. A lot can get done in business, career, educationally, like a lot can get done. But what are you doing internally that will help the rest of your life, because you're watering what's inside as well? So
Exactly.
I think that's a great point to kind of wrap it up and end on. I am very excited for fall. I feel like I said in the beginning, when we do these episodes, it does make me really excited and just feel so much better.
Mm-hmm.
I am going to miss summer, of course. I'm not excited for fall because I hated summer. I'm just accepting that, like, this is where we are,
I
like, the
am a four
time.
season lover. Like that's why
Me too.
everyone's like,
And
I could live in the heat year round. Yes, I could, but I love the like literal change of the seasons. I love
mhm.
that transition. I feel like what you said, it breaks your year up into four different periods, which is like a perfect quarterly check in.
Yeah, no, it really is like the perfect time to do those check-ins. And yeah, it's just like we can't stop time. We can't change it. Like, this is where we're here. So we're like, we might as well accept it. So it's just accepting it and being excited about it, and taking the tips that we stated and how can you implement them? What can you do in your life that will make you feel really good? You can spin what we said in any which way, in any which direction, and apply it to your life, because we're all different. We all have different things going on. So whatever we said today, apply it however you need to, whatever's going to make you feel good. And life is all about feeling your best because you're working your hardest on yourself internally, externally. And I feel like doing things that are going to make you feel good. You're going to have ups and downs, but building a strong foundation for yourself, especially going into a new season, is really, really important. So
Couldn't
with
have said it
all,
better.
yeah, with all of that wonderful stuff being said, sister, I feel like you did have a fourth tip that you wanted to share.
I do.
So go ahead and do so.
I do. I have a fourth tip for you. While you are planning your fall, if you could please plan some time in for No Sugars podcast, because we would love if you guys listen to our episodes weekly. If you like this podcast, if you subscribe to our channel, interacted with us, followed us, push us on Instagram, whatever you do, just interact with us and help us grow our community. If you dedicate 10 minutes a week to just listening to us, who knows, by the end of fall, you could be a new person. That's the whole point, is from getting from A to B. That's what we're all about. So definitely make sure you guys are sharing this podcast and helping us grow.
Yeah. So we hope you all had an amazing Labor Day weekend and enjoyed your last little bits of summer, and continue to enjoy your week, enjoy the rest of your day. We hope you enjoyed this episode. Thank you so much for all your love and support. It is greatly appreciated. So have an amazing rest of your day. Happy No Sugar Tuesday. We'll see you next time.